Okay, so there is this girl named Alice, right? So one day, Alice is sitting around, bored, because there's no internet in the English countryside, and she's talking to her sister, and she's like, WTH, did you just see that rabbit run by with a pocket watch? And Alice's sister's like, no. Have you eaten enough today? You should really try one of these cucumber sandwiches. And Alice's is like, no way, I hate cucumber. But seriously, what is with the rabbit? Alice's sister just shrugged like, what do I know? You are the one seeing things. And Alice was like, fine then, I'll go look by myself. And her sister was like, I don't think that's such a good idea. And Alice was like, so? Anyways, Alice went off after the rabbit with the watch. And as she came up behind him, he got all spooked and almost said something. But instead he was like, poof. And he jumped down this big hole in a tree stump and was gone. Alice was like, WTH, bunny. She thought she heard the bunny say something as it fell to its death. And Alice, being a bit nosy, couldn't help but take a peek down the bunny hole, right? Well, of course, Alice fell in. And no, the bunny was not dead, but he did have a couple of scratches and a bruise. Anyways, when Alice got up and brushed off all the dirt and poo, she found herself in a room with a whole bunch of doors, only they were all locked, and Alice again was like, WTH. She looked around the room and found a small key. She tried it in all the doors, and wouldn't you know it, it was for the last door. Isn't that the way it always is? Like, for example, every time I go to the airport, no matter what, my plane is at the last terminal. Sometimes they'll even try to trick me by giving me a low terminal number, and then they'll change the way they count, like 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, right? Only my terminal is 4. Anyways. So Alice is like, check it out. This key fits into this little tiny door, and I can see through it, but I can't fit into it because my butt is too big, and I ate too much roast beef and popovers last night. Well, not really. But still, there is a really sweet-looking garden on the other side. If only I could fit through the door. Then, like some kind of genie magic, there was a bottle on the table, and Alice was like, hey, that was totally not there a minute ago, because I was really thirsty, and I have a sixth sense for drinks, and would have totally noticed it. But there it was. It said something like, got milk on the bottle, or maybe, drink me. So Alice was like, hey, I'm still thirsty, and she put the key down on the table and took a sip. So wouldn't you know it, she started to get real small, like dormouse small. And she was like, sweet, I can totally fit through the door now. Only she was like, wait, shucks, guys, I cannot reach the key now. So Alice was about to freak out when she looks under the table, because she's so small, and sees a little cake, and it says, eat me. And she's like, am I on video or something? Because she totally likes candid camera and would be pissed if she was on the TV. But then she realized that TV wouldn't be invented for like another 100 years. So she was all, down the hatch. Wouldn't you know it, again, like she started to grow. I know, convenient, right? Only now she's all gigantic, like Andre the Giant. And she hits her head on the ceiling and is all, ouch, WTH. Anyways, Alice is pretty smart. So she grabs the key off the table with one hand and drinks some of this shinky juice with the other. And next thing you know, she is just the right size, like the 3 little bears, only not as furry. Out the door she goes into the garden, where she finally meets the bunny with the clock. And she finally says, WTH, bunny, why did you make me come all the way down here? And he's like, well, it's kind of a long story. And Alice was like, look, don't give me the long storyline. I just went through a lot of trouble getting here, and all I got is time, because I don't like shepherd's pie, and that's what's for dinner tonight. Is there a McDonald's around here? The bunny was all, okay, here it goes. I need you to help us defeat the Red Queen, who stole all our stuff. And Alice was all, what kind of stuff? And the bunny was like, it's not really important. And Alice was like, well, it kind of is, because what if it was like a nuclear bomb? And maybe she didn't think a bunny should have a bomb, But the bunny was like, no worries, it isn't a bomb. Just a bunch of stuff like old CDs and a record player and a couch that turns into a bed. And Alice was like, okay, whatever. Then the bunny was like, well, catch me if you can. And Alice was like, bet on it. But WTH, where'd that white bunny go?